Okay, welcome to my short little video on the app that has been in development called Private Teacher. I was going to do a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation, but I think sort of a picture's worth 1,000 words, so let's just get right into it. So here's the title screen. You can see this text will change according to the time. So at midday this will change to good afternoon. And we're going to start with a fresh instance, so we're going to type in a username here. I'll just put in my name here, Chris, and we'll press begin. And the first thing we'll see is a list of countries. So it's asking me where I am from, so I click Australia. It asks me, am I from Australia? If that's wrong, I can always choose no, I'm not. Pick another one. Are you from Austria? Are you from Azerbaijan? I'm from Australia, so I'll press that and I'll say yes, I am. Okay, so here's the main screen here. So there's a lot going on, and I'll try to walk you through some of the main elements as we go. So if you have a look at the top right hand corner of the screen, there are 4 different elements. There is a number, which the program refers to as the G-score. If we click that, we'll see that the G-score is broken down into 5 sort of skills and what's called time bonuses. So everything's 0 at the moment because we've done nothing in the program to add to these scores. You'll also see that we've got the CEFR, which is A1. We've got the IELTS score, which is IELTS 1, and we've got a SELC score, which is SELC 1. If we click these 3 lines at the top here, we'll see kind of how we can navigate this program. We've got the home page, which is this one here. We've got an activities screen. We've got a portfolio screen, analysis, and help and settings. I want to go have a look at activities at the moment. So this is our activity screen, and you'll see that each activity is color-coded. What this means is that if it is yellow, it is good for your level. Right now, our level 0, so these low ones are good for our level. Yellow is good for your level, orange is challenging for your level, and red is hard for your level. And we haven't done anything yet. This is a fresh instance, so we don't have any scores recorded, and no attempts recorded either. So let's go ahead and do the past simple conjugator on easy mode. So this description here says the past simple easy mode introduces the fundamental verbs. Now what that means is I've gone on the internet and found the 100 most used verbs in English and put them into this conjugator. So we need to conjugate these verbs into the past simple. This particular activity has a part time of 1 minute, which means if you can beat it in 1 minute, you get a time bonus. And you'll see down here a lot of different things which are related to, grammar, vocabulary. I can follow this, I can understand this. I'll explain what's happening here in a little bit. Let's just go ahead and start the activity, shall we? Okay, so you'll see here there are 4 verbs at the bottom. These get randomly generated from a big list, as I mentioned before. And what we need to do is we need to select a verb, and we need to put its past simple form. And the program will deem it correct or incorrect. So let's go ahead and do this. So there'll be a mixture of regular and irregular. Buy, bought. Love, loved. And the program follows the rules of conjugation as well. I'll show you that in a little bit. Fall. And if it shows me one of the harder verbs, I'll even show you some of the weird exceptions we have in English and how the program works with it. Looked. Killed. So we're almost done. A few questions to go. Goes, went. And the last one, let's say decided. Okay, so I got 100%, which is great. I got a perfect score, and I've got a silver star here. Now, if my time had been less than 1 minute, I would have gotten a gold star. But as it were, I was too slow, so I get a silver star for my efforts. Now, I could actually click this here and be taken to a screen where I can see all the questions that I did, and I can see what the answer I put in was and what the correct answer according to the program was, as well as my time in which I answered all of these. You'll see some flags here. I'll talk about those in a bit. But notice what else has happened is that Oh, by the way, you can see whenever you finish an activity, it comes up on this little list here, so you can see all the pertinent details. If you have a look at the top here, my numbers now changed. I now have 8 on this particular G score. So if I click that, I'll see that my 5 skills have gone up. Speaking, writing, grammar, reading, and listening have gone up. So I did the past simple. Let's see what the program is doing to allocate these scores. If we go up and click this CEFR, we'll get a list of all the different CEFR levels from A1 to C2 fluency level. So if we go into A1 elementary, we'll click that, we'll get a list of everything that the CEFR wants A1 to have achieved. So it's broken down into the 5 scores, as we mentioned: listening, reading, speaking, writing, grammar, vocab. So let's go down to grammar, since we just did a past simple exercise, and let's see what the program has done. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. So past simple, past actions, past habits, A1 GR16, and that's now allocated me 7% of this particular point. So the more exercises you do, the more the program will allocate to your score for each particular can-do item, which is what we call these things here. They're all weighted, they're all scaled. So the exercise we just did, the easy mode, it won't get you to 100%, it might get you to 20% or 15%, but you'll have to do the medium and the hard modes to get a bit higher, and maybe other grammar things as well. So that's basically what's going on here. This is a simple this plus this plus this plus this plus this divided by 5 plus a time bonus. So that's how we get this score at the top here. And as we get higher in the ranks, as your score goes up, this color will change to a deeper green and then to a blue as they go up in a higher level. And as you can see, these different numbers correspond to the G score level. So A1 elementary is anything from 0 to 900. Anything from 900 to 1800 is A1 elementary plus, right? So the student goes up as they do exercises. So, how does the program know what the past simple, the answer is to give a score to the student? Well, let's go to Explore Grammar here. And here are the 3 rules I've instantiated into Private Teacher so far. Obviously, there's an irregular verb list. So this verb list contains sort of almost 500 irregular verbs. You've got your verb on the left, the past simple in the middle, and the past participle on the right. And you'll see a few of them have this sort of information icon. So what that means is that there is more information available about the forms of these verbs. So let's have a look at one and to show you what it means. Okay, have a look here. So burn, burned, burned. Now we know that the British and the Australians will use burnt as an irregular. So let's have a look at and see what the list says. So burnt is generally used adjectively, and it shows you the alternative past simple and the alternative past participle. So any information about the usage of these verbs will be at the top here, and the alternatives will be here. And you can see this for any of them. Chide, chid, chidden, chided, right? So if I have some extra information to tell the user, then I'll put it in. I'll put it into the list as we go along. Some of them don't have information, just the way it is. Right, so some of them are very strange. I've scoured the internet to sort of build this list. So the past simple conjugator was looking at that list, and also it was looking at the rules in which we conjugate past simple regular. So this is the rule set that this program is using. So if the verb finishes in W, you add ed. So I've got a list of verbs here that all finish in W, and we can see the program at work. Reviewed, glowed, slowed, swallowed, right? So we just add ed. And as all the other verbs are instantiated here, you can have a look at them. The IED versus just the ED rule. The verb finishes in E, just add D. So here are some other verbs here. The CVC rule. There is an irregular, so we've got 2 forms. And zipped. Multisyllable, but there's no stress on the end, so why don't we double the N on listen? Because the stress is at the beginning. So this happens with a few verbs like this, right? And then we've got the double stress, whoops, pardon me. Things like preferred, permitted, committed, replanned, right? So it all follows the rules. Also it has this double L, so the Australians like to double the L in these multisyllabic words. The Yanks don't. And then for all the other regular verbs, you just add ed. So I've just put a list of verbs here. So now you can actually test this yourself. You can even make up a verb and see the program conjugate it. So let's make up a verb here. Chris. This is the verb Chris. Let's see what the rule would be. You'd be Chrised. Let's even do a stressed. Let's see. Let's think. Okay. Let's see. Let's imagine there was a verb. You need to write stress with these B tags, just the way the program works at the moment. Unregret. Alright, let's imagine there was a verb called unregret. Then the past simple would be unregretted with a double T. So that's the basic loop of this program on the phone side or the program side. Let's take a look at a few other types of activities. So I've broken down activities into 10 different fundamental types. What you saw with the past simple conjugated was type 1. Let's look at a type, what else can we look at? Let's look at a type 2 activity, travel vocabulary. So we need to look at an image and choose the correct answer to describe it. This one has a part time of 2 minutes this time. Let's see if I can beat it. And now I'll quickly explain this. So every activity has a focus on the points in the CEFR that it targets, right? So this travel vocabulary targets a lot of things, and as a result, it gives a lower mark to each thing at the end. So I've gone through the CEFR for each activity and decided what CFR point should be affected by it. So this travel vocabulary will affect everything from A1 to A2 plus and assign some points to it. So let's have a look and see how type 2 works in the program. So type 2 is an image just like this, and there are some options here. 3 of them are incorrect, 1 of them are correct. They're all randomly generated, they're all randomly assigned. So there's a lot of replayability here. So we have a look here, we look at this picture, that looks like the reception to me. Here we got bus stop, taxi driver, taxi rank, petrol station. This is a taxi rank. And I'll go ahead and do one wrong. So here we've got 2 beds here, 2's bed. So let's say we think this is a 2's bed. Well, that's incorrect, it's going to say that. To make a reservation. So I'll go ahead and do this pretty quickly. It's a helicopter. So you can see these different answers. They're all in there dynamically, so they'll change each time a user does this exercise, does this activity, to stay at a hotel. And you can add as many as you want to the program. So I've just put a bunch of different ones in for variation. What is this? This is the platform. Cattle, right? Obviously that's wrong, but it could be right to some people. This is vacancies. Hopefully the picture is pretty self-explanatory. That's a taxi. Yep, I reckon I'm going to beat the part-time here. It's part-time's 2 minutes to book a holiday. This is a coach. And this is a guest house. Okay, so we got 14 out of 15. We got a great job. So we beat part-time, but we didn't get above 90%. You need 90% above to get a time bonus. But you got a great job, and this image will change depending on, and this text will change depending on how well you do. So 80% or whatever we got is deemed a great job, get 2 ticks. We can have a look here, of course, and see what we got wrong. We get these three dots if the answers were too big for this particular list. So what did we get wrong? I think we got the 2's bed wrong, right? So we can see that. 2's bed, twin beds. Another type of activity, which sort of takes this idea, is the animal spelling. I'll quickly show you. As you can see, the numbers going up. All right, so we've got a lamb. We need to actually spell the things correctly. We can do things like put spaces, it doesn't matter. It'll fix it up inside the program. Even if you put plural, singular, doesn't matter. There are a bunch of different potential answers you can put. This is a deer. This is a cow. Cows. We can. Or let's say cattle. So that's a rarer name, but it's still correct. Zebras. Or zebras. Zebras or zebras. If you ever get stuck, you can tap for a tip. You too can answer this question, right? It's a bit of a joke. Try to have a bit of fun with this thing. So toucan. These can sting you, so this is a jellyfish. Okay. So this time we got a fantastic result, 93%. And we beat part-time. So we got above 90%. So, and beat part-time, we get a gold star. The last type, there are two more types, so that's a type 2. Of course, I can make as many exercises as I need. I've got these templates now. This is an interesting one, Brazilian problems. So what Brazilian problems is there is a, okay, it doesn't work. All right, well, it's a bit buggy. It's a bit buggy at times. I don't know why it's not working. They should be working. Anyway, let's just go ahead and fail it all, and we'll see if we get 0 in the test, in the activity, then this won't go up at all because there's no points to assign. All right, that's a bit of a bug. I'll have to check that out. It's not working as it should. This is one that I added a few days ago. How to interest people down, kind of, because this is the reading element of the program. So what happens in the reading element of the program is you've got a reading here. You sort of can scroll down, and then you've got some multiple choice questions. So I sort of read this recently, so I know the answers here. And of course, they're all randomly generated. They will keep changing for the student, so they never get the same thing twice, or hopefully never get the same thing twice. Let's go ahead and do it. So it was also president. The problem I'm finding is that I've had to. I want to primarily focus on mobile apps, so everything has to be truncated. I can make this bigger and smaller if I needed to, and it'll scale. But I really wanted to focus on mobile applications for the time being. Trying to sell bread for 4 years. Bubbly enthusiasm means enthusiastically friendly. Ultimate success. And then there's one more, which is you should talk about what interests the other person. Okay, perfect score. And we got a time bonus here as well. So all this stuff gets updated. Time bonuses, grammar, all that sort of stuff. All right. So that's the main part of the program. You can also have a look at the way that we conjugate the ing. Has its own rules there as well. What's to come in the future, which is what I'm really excited about, is this thing called Meet Your Teacher. Private Teacher can be used as a standalone, and that's all fine, but any student worth their salt, or any student who really wants to excel in the language, wants to be connected up to a teacher. So what's coming is there'll be a teacher-student application interface where, let's say, for example, I wanted to know, here, travel vocabulary, I wanted to know why two's bed was wrong and twins' bed was correct. I can press this flag here. And what this flag will do is it will set a flagged item. And what that means is that when the teacher is connected up to the student, the teacher can see the flagged items that the student makes, and they can discuss them in a private class or over Zoom or over text message or over the text function inside this program, and work with the student on a closer level. The student can also flag CFR can-do statements. So if the student is unsure, maybe they don't know what this means, or they don't know how they can improve this, the student can flag this, and the teacher can see that the student has flagged this item for review, right? And you can also unflag the item. So maybe the student made a mistake, or the student is now clear on the point, they can get rid of their flagged items. So it's a good way for the teacher and the student to come together and to understand what the strengths and the weaknesses of the student is. Analysis will show sort of how fast you have gone up your level. I haven't made it yet. It'll come soon. Analysis shows how fast you've gone up your level when the program calculates you'll be ready for when you'll hit up the next level and all that sort of stuff. But this is just a quick walkthrough of Private Teacher. As you can see, there are a few bugs in there. I'll have to go back and fix them now. But hopefully that's given you a good idea of how the main program operates. I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be very useful as well, especially when the teacher-student interface comes online, when I can be bothered to learn how to do the programming to do that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Oh, but one thing I will show you before I leave. So we've got 32 here. Let's shut the program down. We'll close the app in the instance of the phone, and let's boot it back up, and let's see, does the program remember us? Okay, so here's our program here. And we will type in our username again, Chris, begin. And it goes straight back, and it welcomes us back, and all our scores there, and everything's saved. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.